In a small town in the southern United States lived a 17-year-old girl named Emily Carter. She carried a burning passion for music and dreamed of one day performing on great stages before thousands of people. Emily owned an old guitar that her father had given her before he passed away. Every evening, she would sit by the window and play gentle melodies that made the entire neighborhood fall silent in admiration. One day, her school announced a Young Talents competition. It was the chance Emily had been waiting for to prove that she could make her dream come true. The day of fear for weeks, Emily practiced tirelessly. She prepared an original song she had written herself, one about faith and strength through loss. When the big day came, the auditorium was packed. As Emily stepped onto the stage, her hands trembled. She took a deep breath and began strumming the first chords. But just as she reached the chorus, one of the guitar strings snapped with a harsh twang that echoed through the room. Emily froze. Her cheeks turned red. In her mind, panic screamed, "I've failed. They're going to laugh at me." She lowered her head and was about to walk off the stage when a familiar voice called out from the audience, her mother's, "Emily, finish your song with your heart." Starting again with fate, Emily lifted her head, took a deep breath, and held the broken guitar close. Then, she began to sing again, this time without any instrument, only her raw voice. At first, the room was silent, but slowly, everyone was drawn into her voice, pure, heartfelt, filled with both pain and courage. There was no music, no fancy performance, just a girl singing her truth. When the song ended, the entire hall erupted in applause. Emily didn't win first prize that day, but she won every heart in the room. The lesson from failure. At that night, Emily sat by her window again, looking at her guitar with its broken string. She smiled softly and whispered, "So, failure isn't as scary as I thought." She opened her journal and wrote, "Failure is only frightening when you refuse to learn from it. But if you stand up again, it becomes your greatest teacher." From that day on, Emily practiced differently. She no longer feared mistakes or criticism. Each time she failed, she took notes, learned, and improved. Returning to the Stagato years later, Emily was invited to perform at a community concert. When she walked on stage, the audience recognized her, the girl with the broken guitar string. Before playing her new song, Emily smiled and said, "2 years ago, a guitar string broke during a performance. But that night, I learned something important. You don't have to fear failure if you learn from it." She began to play. The melody was strong, confident, and full of life. This time, no strings broke and no fear remained. Epilogue. After the show, many people came to thank Emily for inspiring them. A little boy said, "You made me believe I can get back up after I make mistakes." Emily smiled and replied, "Don't be afraid of failure, okay? Because if you learn from it, it's no longer failure, it's a lesson." Message: failure is an inevitable part of learning. Every fall carries a lesson if you choose to see it. The brave are not those who never fail, but those who rise again and grow from their failures.